The information in this video comes from thorough research. Please share your thoughts on the video, The Mystery of Sleep, From Science to the Soul, in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. Even on the most exalted throne in the world, we are still only sleeping humans. Michel de Montaigne. Sleep is one of the most mysterious and vital aspects of human life, a phenomenon that occupies a significant portion of our existence, yet remains partially unexplored in many of its dimensions. Throughout history, humans have considered sleep and dreams as gateways to another realm, a space where the rules of time and logic from the waking world are suspended, allowing the mind to wander freely. From a scientific perspective, sleep is a biological necessity, essential for the optimal functioning of the body and brain. Adequate, quality sleep contributes to memory consolidation, immune system regulation, cellular repair, and emotional balance. But sleep is more than just a physiological need. It is also deeply embedded in our psychological, philosophical, religious, and cultural landscapes. Dreams, which arise in the depths of the night, often reflect our desires, fears, and subconscious thoughts, and at times appear to carry symbolic messages or glimpses into future events. Throughout time, sleep and dreaming have been subjects of curiosity and reflection for philosophers, psychologists, prophets, poets, and artists alike. Plato viewed dreams as an opportunity for the soul to express itself freely, while Freud famously referred to dreams as the royal road to the unconscious. Religious texts also emphasize the spiritual significance of dreams, such as in the Quran, where the prophetic dreams of figures like Joseph, Yusuf play a pivotal role in divine narratives. In today's fast-paced and technologically driven world, sleep is under more pressure than ever before. Disruptions caused by artificial light, digital screens, stress, and irregular schedules have led to widespread sleep disorders and declining sleep quality across populations. Scientists, neuroscientists, and mental health professionals are increasingly focused on understanding the mechanisms of sleep and developing strategies to restore its crucial balance in modern life. It is our hope that this collection not only enhances the reader's knowledge about sleep, but also invites deeper reflection on its role in human experience. After all, perhaps in understanding sleep more clearly, we come closer to understanding ourselves. Sleep has never been merely a passive, biological occurrence. It has always carried profound symbolic meaning for humanity. In ancient civilizations, sleep was viewed as a sacred space, a time when the soul could communicate with the divine or journey into hidden dimensions. The ancient Egyptians believed that dreams were messages sent by the gods, while the Greeks built temples where people would sleep in hopes of receiving healing dreams from Asclepius, the god of medicine. Across cultures and centuries, dreaming has served as a source of inspiration, prophecy, and mystery. In indigenous traditions around the world, dreams are not seen as random firings of the brain, but as purposeful visions that guide decision-making, provide warnings, or connect individuals to their ancestors. In many African and Native American spiritual systems, dream interpretation is considered a sacred art passed down through generations. Even in the modern world, where science has unraveled many of the physiological processes behind sleep, dreams continue to captivate us. Why do we see vivid images, hear voices, feel emotions, and even solve problems in our sleep? Why do certain symbols, people, or places reappear again and again in our dreams, sometimes years apart? These questions continue to inspire scientific inquiry and philosophical debate alike. One of the most fascinating aspects of dreaming is its relationship to creativity and human expression. Countless works of art, literature, and scientific breakthroughs have been birthed from dreams. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Paul McCartney's song, Yesterday, and the periodic tables organization by Dmitri Mendeleev all famously came to their creators through dreams. This phenomenon raises deeper questions about the mind's potential when liberated from the constraints of logic and linear thinking. Yet dreams are not always pleasant or meaningful. Nightmares, sleep paralysis, and recurring disturbing dreams can haunt the human psyche, leaving emotional scars long after waking. Some people relive trauma through their dreams. Others suffer from sleep disorders that blur the line between waking and dreaming, such as narcolepsy or REM sleep behavior disorder. For these individuals, sleep can become a battleground rather than a sanctuary. Modern technology has both illuminated and complicated our understanding of sleep. Advances in brain imaging have allowed us to observe neural activity during sleep in real time, confirming the existence of complex cognitive processes even during deep sleep and REM stages. Meanwhile, sleep tracking apps, smartwatches, and wearable EEG devices offer real-time data on our sleep patterns, giving ordinary people access to information that was once confined to research labs. However, our growing dependency on screens and digital stimulation has also created new challenges, such as sleep deprivation, disrupted circadian rhythms, and revenge bedtime procrastination, where people delay sleep to reclaim leisure time lost to daily obligations. The increasing prevalence of insomnia, anxiety-related sleep issues, and burnout in modern societies has sparked renewed interest in sleep hygiene and lifestyle adjustments. Meditation, blue light filtering glasses, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, and even digital detoxes are now common strategies recommended for improving sleep quality. In a paradoxical twist, we now need to work consciously to achieve something that once happened effortlessly: a good night's sleep. In this comprehensive exploration of sleep and dreaming, we will aim to bridge science with spirit, tradition with technology, and theory with lived experience. Each chapter will focus on a particular dimension of sleep, allowing us to travel from the microscopic workings of the brain to the ancient mythologies of dreamtime. We will meet scientists, philosophers, religious leaders, and artists, past and present, who have all tried, in their own ways, to answer the same question: what is sleep, and what does it mean to dream? As we begin this journey, it is important to remember that sleep is not a luxury, but a fundamental pillar of human life. It is in sleep that we heal, grow, process, and imagine. Whether we approach it through data and diagrams or through symbols and stories, sleep invites us into a realm where our deepest selves emerge. In sleep, we lose control, only to sometimes discover more of who we are. To understand sleep is, in many ways, to understand what it means to be human. In waking life, we craft identities, make decisions, and navigate a physical world governed by rules and responsibilities. But when we sleep, we shed the outer layers of selfhood, our roles, masks, and conscious awareness, and enter a state where the boundaries of identity blur. In our dreams, we can become someone else, shift between times and places, or exist in forms beyond human understanding. A single night of dreaming can contain lifetimes of experience, vast emotional arcs, and scenes more vivid than any memory from waking life. This dissolution of the ego is one reason sleep and dreaming have fascinated mystics and philosophers for millennia. In mystical traditions from Sufism to Taoism, the dream state is sometimes described as a glimpse into deeper levels of reality. In these views, the waking world is not necessarily more real than the dream world. Both are expressions of consciousness, layered like veils over the ultimate truth. Some have even compared death to a long, eternal sleep and birth to waking from a dream. These metaphysical interpretations challenge our assumptions and open the door to broader reflections on existence itself. The subconscious mind plays a central role in this exploration. While we are awake, our conscious thoughts occupy the spotlight, filtering what we see, think, and feel. But during sleep, the subconscious mind takes control. Repressed desires, unresolved fears, long-forgotten memories, and symbolic representations of inner conflicts rise to the surface. Dreams offer a mirror to this inner landscape, a space where the rational mind is quieted and the deeper psyche speaks in its own language of metaphor, emotion, and symbol. For this reason, dream analysis has long been a tool for psychological insight. Whether through the symbolic language of Carl Jung, the drive-centered interpretations of Sigmund Freud, or the more recent cognitive and neurobiological models, dreams are windows into the complexity of a human psyche. They reveal what we might be avoiding, what we long for, and what we have not yet integrated into our conscious selves. In many cultures, dream interpretation is not merely academic or therapeutic. It is spiritual, intuitive, and deeply personal. Yet despite centuries of study, the purpose of dreams remains an open question. Are they simply the byproduct of random neural activity? Are they simulations that help us prepare for challenges and threats? Are they emotional processing mechanisms, creative problem solvers, or even messages from other dimensions of reality? Modern science has proposed compelling theories, but no single explanation fully captures the richness and variability of the dream experience. As the world evolves, so too does our relationship with sleep. The 24/7 economy, global time zones, shift work, and digital overstimulation have eroded natural sleep rhythms. Sleep deprivation has become a public health concern, with direct links to heart disease, depression, anxiety, weakened immune systems, and impaired decision-making. At the same time, sleep has become commodified, marketed through luxury mattresses, sleep-enhancing supplements, relaxation apps, and even soundscapes designed by artificial intelligence. In this fast-paced environment, learning to respect and reclaim sleep is an act of personal and collective healing. Sleep is not wasted time, it is essential time. It is a reset button, a creative portal, and a space of renewal that connects all living beings. Animals dream. Infants dream before they can speak. And in every corner of the world, humans dream, linking us in a vast, silent, nightly web of unconscious exploration. Sleep and dreams are not just topics of medical or psychological interest, but also of existential and artistic importance. Understanding them can improve our health, deepen our self-awareness, and enrich our inner lives. Whether you're a scientist, student, dreamer, or simply someone who struggles with sleep, this journey will offer insights and inspiration. Together, we will explore the science, symbolism, and soul of sleep, and perhaps, by the end, see it not just as a necessity, but as a wonder. Even our language reveals the profound role sleep and dreams play in how we understand ourselves and the world. We speak of waking up to the truth, of being asleep to reality, or chasing a dream. These metaphors are so deeply embedded in speech that we often don't notice how sleep and dreaming operate as a parallel vocabulary for consciousness, awareness, and aspiration. In literature, dreams have been used as narrative devices to reveal inner conflict, divine intervention, or hidden truths. From Shakespeare's soliloquies to the surrealism of modern poetry, dreams have consistently served as bridges between the seen and unseen, the conscious and the unconscious. In society, the patterns and value of sleep have varied across cultures and historical periods. In pre-industrial societies, segmented or biphasic sleep, sleeping in two separate phases with a period of wakefulness in between, was common and natural. People would wake for an hour or two in the middle of the night, using the time for prayer, reflection, or even creativity before returning to a second sleep. The modern insistence on uninterrupted, 8-hour sleep is relatively recent, shaped by industrial schedules and artificial lighting. As such, the ideal sleep structure may not be a universal biological norm, but a social construct shaped by historical and economic forces. Sleep is also profoundly political. Who gets to sleep and how well is often determined by socioeconomic factors. Studies consistently show that poor communities, marginalized groups, and individuals in precarious work conditions are far more likely to suffer from chronic sleep deprivation. Whether due to stress, shift work, overcrowded housing, or limited health care, sleep inequality is a silent epidemic that disproportionately affects those with the least power. In contrast, the wealthy increasingly treat sleep as a form of luxury wellness, purchasing smart beds, noise-canceling architecture, and curated nighttime routines. This disparity forces us to see sleep not just as a private act, but as a deeply social and structural issue. Sleep also plays a crucial role in every phase of human development. From infancy to old age, our sleep patterns change dramatically, reflecting the shifting needs of the brain and body. Babies spend much of their time in REM sleep, suggesting that dreaming may play a crucial part in early cognitive development. Adolescents need more sleep than adults. You're often forced into early morning routines that conflict with their natural circadian rhythms. In old age, sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented, which may contribute to cognitive decline, but also reflects the body's changing biological needs. Understanding how sleep evolves across the lifespan gives us insight into both our vulnerabilities and our potential. If we can align our environments, habits, and policies with these biological truths, we can unlock healthier, more harmonious ways of living. We can rethink education schedules, workplace norms, and healthcare practices not as isolated interventions, but as part of a larger sleep-aware culture. Finally, sleep connects us across time and space. While we sleep alone or in the quiet of our homes, we do so alongside billions of others who, in different time zones and languages, are doing the same. In sleep, we temporarily release the boundaries of geography and self, entering a shared rhythm with the rest of the living world. Trees rest, animals sleep. The planet itself moves in cycles of light and dark, activity and rest. To sleep is to participate in the universal choreography of life. As we step further into the 21st century, the relationship between humans and sleep is being reshaped by artificial intelligence, wearable tech, and the rise of so-called smart living. Algorithms now track our breathing, monitor our heart rates, and optimize our bedtime routines with near-clinical precision. Smartwatches remind us when to go to bed. Apps simulate the soundscapes of forests or rainfall, and digital assistants dim the lights and lower the thermostat without us lifting a finger. We've brought data into the most sacred and unconscious space of our lives. But as we quantify sleep, do we risk losing its mystery? Can an algorithm truly understand what it means to dream of someone we've lost, or to wake up haunted by a symbol we can't explain? Can machine learning ever decode the soul's journey through the landscapes of the unconscious? These questions are more than technological. They're existential. Because no matter how much we measure or predict, the essence of sleep still eludes reduction. It is a human experience shaped by memory, meaning, and emotion. And these are things no sensor can truly capture. Philosophically, sleep invites paradox. It is both absence and renewal, silence and revelation. We're never more vulnerable than when asleep, yet it is in that vulnerability that we heal. We surrender control and yet emerge stronger. In a world obsessed with action, sleep is resistance. It says, not everything can be solved by doing. Not all truth is found in light. In darkness, too, there's growth. Sleep also questions the nature of time. In dreams, moments can stretch or collapse. We may relive an entire lifetime in the span of minutes, or wake up feeling we were gone only seconds. Some dreams seem to predict the future. Others carry echoes of the past we never consciously remembered. Linear time dissolves. What remains is the raw experience of consciousness, free from the clock. In this way, sleep resembles a kind of death and rebirth. Each night, we disappear from the world. Each morning, we re-emerge. The ancient Greeks carved the word hypnos, the god of sleep, beside the natos, the god of death, not out of fear, but out of reverence. For in both sleep and death, we enter the unknown. But unlike death, sleep brings us back, with messages, sometimes from the other side of ourselves. I invite you to approach sleep not merely as a function of biology, but as a realm of depth and wonder. This is not just about learning how to sleep better, though that will come. This is about remembering what sleep really is, a conversation between body and soul, between reason and mystery, between light and shadow. So close your eyes, metaphorically, for now, and open your mind. This journey will take us through science, myth, medicine, memory, psychology, and spirit. It will trace sleep from the neurons in the brain to the symbols in our dreams, from the first breath of a newborn to the final sleep of the elderly. We begin where all things begin, at nightfall, when the conscious mind lets go and something deeper arises to take its place. Sleep is not an escape. It is an entryway, a passage through which we descend not into nothingness, but into something far older and more essential than waking life. In sleep, the masks fall away. The roles we play, the clocks we obey, the fears we suppress, all dissolve. And what is left is something raw and real, the silent conversation between the body and the spirit. To understand sleep is to understand ourselves, not just as thinking creatures, but as dreaming ones. Not just as individuals in motion, but as beings in rhythm with the pulse of night and the language of the stars. In learning why we sleep, how we dream, and what sleep means across biology, culture, and spirit, we come closer to seeing life not as a straight line, but as a cycle, a spiral of rest and awakening, darkness and light. Whether you read these pages by the light of day or in the quiet of night, know that you are not alone. Across time zones and oceans, others too are closing their eyes, entering the unknown, and dreaming stories no one else can dream. So let us begin together, because to understand sleep is perhaps to finally wake up. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you have any experiences related to this topic, be sure to share them with us. Until the next episode, be mindful of the energies around you.